All right, let's talk about Joy Reid.
Jay Reid, Jay Reid.
Joy Reid, you're not a no, I'm just joking. Y'all, if you know about In Too Deep with LL Cool J, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, jokes aside, Joy Reid, her show on MSNBC has been canceled. Looks like her last show is going to be this week. Obviously, we in an information war. It's MSNBC, liberal left, Fox, leaning right, all these things. Again, I'm not really for either one. I'm just really for Americans um, having good conversations and logical ones, if that. So anyway, she's gonna be out of here. I think she'll probably come back and be on YouTube or something. But Joy Reid, she joined MSNBC. Joy Reid, she joined MSNBC in 2014. So she joined in 2014. She took over the 7 p.m. slot with her readout show in 2020. Is race an issue in our country? For sure. Is race an issue in the world? For sure. But man, every single conversation, it was like, and especially with Trump, just this obsession with Trump. And I think that it made the bosses over there at Comcast uncomfortable. And it looks like they're going to get rid of her.
If you've been watching the news for the past few days or on Twitter or TikTok, you're probably familiar with the name Gabby Petito. Why not the same media attention when people of color go missing? Well, the answer actually has a name. Missing white woman syndrome, to describe the media and public fascination with missing white women like Lacey Peterson or Natalie Holloway, while ignoring cases involving missing people of color.
Now, that one I do agree with. I recently watched the Netflix documentary about Gabby Petito, and listen, I believe that missing women, we should be talking about that all the time. I talk about sex trafficking. I've done a couple episodes on that, so it's definitely something that needs to be covered for all races. That I do agree with her on. But other things, it's just like she's just every day. It's like
coronavirus, or that the virus, it was a very
has low
not
salience.
importance to many of the voters
which
there.
was fascinating.
It was education,
Right.
which is code for white parents don't like the idea of teaching about race. That white men had a particular kind of freedom and a particular kind of citizenship that only they have. That gives, from the slave catchers on, the right to inflict violence in the name of protecting property. That's like the foundational creation of the United States. You got to love the Tim Scott standing there to provide the patina of diversity over that round of words, that basket full of words. If somehow they manage to stumble into the Supreme Court, do any of you guys trust Uncle Clarence and Amy Coney Barrett and those guys to actually follow the letter of the law? No.
And here's the thing, everybody's entitled to their opinion, I believe. But, when you stoking up race in every conversation, sometimes it's applicable, sometimes it's not. So you see there, whether you like Clarence Thomas or not, you are essentially calling him an Uncle Tom on air. And it either way it goes, whether you are going hard against other races or you're going hard against your own, every conversation, it's not going to allow you to, one, see situations in a logical manner, because racism is real, but racism is very emotional. So it can't be part of every single conversation. In my opinion, it has to be applicable based on what you're talking about. That way you don't see every single conversation through the lens of racism.
The Brett Kavanaugh hearings, in which Brett Kavanaugh, who had been accused by a high school friend of committing sexual abuse of her, cried his way through the hearings to make him a permanent member and Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. And his tears turned out to be more powerful than the tears of Christine Blasey Ford, which were the tears of an alleged victim. But in America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general. White men can get away with that too. And it has the same effect. Even as the right tries to politicize the idea that masculinity is being robbed from American men by multiculturalism and wokeism.
Now, MSNBC is losing ratings. The reason why her show is going away, because the ratings are going down. Because where America is at now, and I'm talking about as far as people of color or minorities or whatever you want to call us, people are getting to a point now where, yes, racism is real, but we don't want to talk about it all day, every day, about every issue. People are worried about how they're going to pay for food. They're worried about the economy. When you go to talk about them and you're only going to talk about race and try to stoke that, MSNBC, for example, it got to a point where I used to be watching MSNBC. It used to seem like a logical network. It got a little bit crazy, particularly with the Trump obsession. And again, I know the right-leaning channels also throw their shots. They all throw their shots back and forth. But MSNBC has become, in some ways, a channel of like lunacy as far as just emotion. And this is why the election was lost. This channel is what people associate with the Democratic Party right after the Trump victory and the Kamala loss, right? She talked about people deciding that you should not sit with people who in your family don't have Thanksgiving dinner with certain people because you may need a timeout. And there were other people saying this, but this is the type of stupidity that you might hear on a YouTube channel, but you don't really expect to hear on MSNBC because, you shouldn't be losing friends, honestly, in my opinion. You shouldn't be losing friends. You certainly the hell shouldn't be losing family because y'all voted differently. You guys are acting like Donald Trump's presidency is all the time. It's a drop in the ocean of time. You don't like his policies, I get it. You don't like him, I get it. But where America is, all the things that are going on are hard to deny. I mean, Joy Reid, she'll move on. I think, like I said, she's entitled to her opinion. I think she's probably better for just YouTube. I'm sure she's probably on YouTube. She's better just to be on YouTube. But I don't think she's a good fit for MSNBC because it's leaning way too far left. Way far left. And it's gotten to the point now where the ratings are down. Look, if people really were on her show and they really wanted to see and hear what she's saying, the ratings will be up. No network's going to pull a show that's doing well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Crucial Combo.